Hi, my name is Kevin Zulazar from English Literature B. Now I want to make some consecutive interpretation video about some TV show that is a kick ending, talk about Gus Miftah history. Now I use my book and my pen. I need to write some sentences and then translate the language because I need to translate Indonesian language to English language. Okay, because I don't have something to talk about, so let's go.
Tadi kan sempat kita singgung masa lalu Anda ya.
Yap.
Tadi Anda, saya nggak tahu bercanda atau tidak, pernah jadi marbot, ya, pernah jadi tukang kebun. Tapi yang saya dengar kan jadi tukang becak juga,
Ya.
gagal dalam usaha, bangkrut.
Ya.
Dan nanti saya akan tanyakan sejarah bagaimana sampai kemudian Anda bisa bikin pondok pesantren, tapi Anda juga atau mertua Anda pernah malu punya menantu seperti Anda.
Iya.
Sebenarnya nggak heran ya. Iya. Tapi kita masuk dulu ke tukang becak, itu benar itu.
Gus, we're talking about your past. I don't know if it's a joke or not. Being a person in charge of the mosque, a gardener, and then I heard you became a pedicab driver, and then you failed in your business. And later I will ask about your history of making a Islamic boarding school. But you or your parents-in-law get asked of having a son-in-law like you. Actually, don't you be surprised? But first, let we discussed about the pedicab driver. Is that true?
Ya. Jadi saya dulu berangkat ke Jogja tidak mendapatkan transferan dan wesel dari bapak ibu saya. Saya cuma bilang, Pak, Bu, saya berangkat ke Jogja, saya kuliah. Loh, biayanya dari mana? Cukup ibu kirim saya doa setelah sholat. Fatihah saja setiap habis sholat. Tapi ingat ya Bu ya, cukup Fatihah, jangan pakai Yasin, saya bilang. Bablas ntar kan. Nah.
Yes, so when I go to Jogja, I didn't receive any money from my parents. I just said, Mom, Dad, I went to Jogja to go to college. And then they said, how about the cost? I said, don't worry, just send me the Fatiha prayer after you finishing your prayer. And remember, just use the Fatiha, do not use the Yasin.
Lah, karena di Jogja saya nggak punya tempat tinggal, saya di masjid.
Ya.
Disinilah saya belajar memahami kebinekaan, kemajemukan, dan pluralisme. Saya orang NU, tinggal di masjidnya orang Muhammadiyah. Sebagai James Bond, jaga masjid dan kebun. Nah, saya sering ditanya, ada masalah nggak Gus tinggal di masjid orang Muhammadiyah? Nggak ada.
Okay. Because in Jogja I don't have a place to live, so I live in a mosque. This is where I learn some pluralism, and diversity. I am an NU person who lived in the Muhammadiyah mosque as a James Bond, a guardian of mosque, and a gardener. I'm often being asked whether there are problems living in the Muhammadiyah mosque, and I said it's okay.
4 tahun setengah. Lah, untuk mencukupi kebutuhan saya pernah menjadi pedagang asongan. Aksesoris kayak gantungan kunci, peniti di alun-alun utara Malioboro. Itu selama beberapa saat. Kemudian saya pernah narik becak sekitar 6 bulan. Bahkan sampai saya jadi pengurus paguyuban becak kota Yogyakarta. Akhirnya saya berhenti dari becak, cari aktivitas yang lain.
Okay. For 4.5 years, to fulfill my needs, I be a street vendor for accessories who sell such as keychains and safety pins in the northern field Malioboro for a while. In fact, I became a pedicab driver for about 6 months and even became a manager of the Yogyakarta City Pedicab. association. Finally, I quit the job and then searching for the other activities.
Oke, jadi Anda pernah jadi tukang beca itu benar?
Benar, fakta. Maka kenapa di pondok ada beca? Karena untuk mengingatkan saya kepada masa lalu saya.
Oke, ini Anda nggak malu menceritakan semua ini?
Enggak, kenapa malu?
Oke, kan ada yang merasa tukang beca itu kurang bergengsi pekerjaannya, profesinya.
Okay, so you've been a pedicab driver, right? Yes, that's a fact. And that's the reason why in my Islamic boarding school there are a pedicab. That's to reminds me of my past. And then, are you not asked to tell your story? No. Why I need that? There are those who think that the job is not as prestigious as their professions.
Ya, tukang becak itu lebih bergengsi daripada wasit sepak bola.
Kenapa begitu?
Wasit sepak bola itu profesinya aneh, lari ke sana kemari mencari kesalahan orang lain.
Saya baru paham hari ini.
Dan yang paling celaka, wasit tinju.
Kenapa?
Ada orang berpelukan dipisah, ada orang pukul-pukulan dibiarin, kan kurang ngajar banget gitu.
Ya, semakin paham saya bahwa ada profesi-profesi yang sebenarnya harus dipertanyakan. Apakah dia akan masuk surga atau tidak? Ya,
Dan saya nggak malu sama sekali.
Mudah-mudahan nggak ada wasit berhenti gara-gara mendengarkan percakapan kita ini ya.
Yes, pedicab driver is more prestigious than a football referee. Why is that? Because soccer referee are weird. They're just running around looking for other people's mistakes. I just understood today. Yeah, and the most rich one is boxing referee. Why? Because there are people who get spirited, but who beat each other didn't get spirited. Yeah, I increasingly understand. Now, then there are some jobs that need asked whether did their job go to heaven or not. And then I hope there are no referee quit his job because of our conversation.
Oke, menarik sekali Gus. Nah, tukang beca. Sekarang yang jadi pertanyaan, kan Anda punya pondok pesantren.
Ya.
Namanya apa tadi?
Ora aji.
Artinya apa itu?
Not value.
Oh, nggak ada nilainya.
Nggak ada
sama
nilai. Karena bagi saya manusia itu kan hina di hadapan Allah. Rendah. Makanya saya mencoba memposisikan saya seperti itu. Maka ketika ada orang membuli saya macam-macam, sama sekali nggak kepikiran. Ya karena kita not value. Sudah, saya santai.
Okay, so interesting Gus. Now, pedicab driver. Now, the question is, if you will have a Islamic boarding school, what was the name? Ora Aji. What's the meaning of it? That means not failure. Yeah, oh, not failure, yeah. Because for me, human beings are despicable for God. Yeah, that's why I try to position myself like that. So when there are some people who bullied me, I don't even think about that. That's because I think I'm not value.
Saya sering mengatakan orang baik itu egois. Karena selalu memandang orang maksiat dengan kacamata kebencian. Sementara ahli maksiat itu justru memandang orang baik dengan kacamata kasih sayang. Satu saat saya duduk di kafe mau pengajian sama mbak-mbak LC, ladies skirt, ya, teman-teman pemandu karaoke lah itu.
Ya.
Begitu kita duduk Bang, itu ada rombongan pengajian lewat. Yang keluar dari mulut mbak-mbak itu saya kaget.
Apa itu?
Saya ngiri dengan mereka loh Gus. Malam-malam gini kita mabuk pegang botol, mereka datang ke tempat pengajian. Bahkan ada yang berebes Mas Mili. Aduh.
I often say the good people are selfish because they always look the immoral people with the eyes full of hatred. while the immoral experts view the good people with compassionate eyes. One time, I was sitting in a cafe, waiting to do some Quran activities with my karaoke guide friends. As soon as we sat down, there are some recitation passing by. Then what came out from the woman's is make me started. She say, "Gus, I'm envy. You know, the night we were drunk, holding bottles. They came to the recitation place."
Sementara satu saat saya menemani beberapa teman yang dalam tanda kutip baik lah,
Sok
suci lah. Begitu lewat depan kafe melihat mbak-mbak yang menggunakan pakaian seksi, walaupun menurut saya tidak seksi sih, salah kostum saja lah. Mereka mengatakan apa? Dasar ahli maksiat, malam-malam begini malah penuh dengan kemaksiatan.
Meanwhile, one day I was accompanying some friends who could be said is to be kind, presentious. When we passed in front of the cafe and then saw a woman wearing sexy clothes, even though I thought it wasn't sexy, it was just the wrong costume. What do they say? They say, "Oh, look at that. They are a master of immorality. The nights are full of immorality."
Oke, ini
Coba.
perspektif ya, sudut pandang.
Sudut pandang, yang ahli maksiat memandang orang baik dengan penuh rasa cinta. Yang dianggap baik memandang orang ahli maksiat dengan penuh kebencian.
Jadi
Point of view, yes. Point of view. Yeah, from the point of view of an immoral person looks at good people with love. But people who are considered good view immoral people with hatred. So now you put yourself in this perspective now, huh?
Jadi Anda sekarang menempatkan diri pada sudut pandang seperti ini tadi ya.
Iya, maka saya
melihat
mengatakan
anak-anak
kepada mereka.
bekas preman,
Iya.
penyuh narkoba.
Maka saya sampaikan kepada mereka, pada akhirnya surga itu akan ditempati oleh ahli maksiat yang mau bertaubat. Bukan orang yang sok suci namun pada akhirnya tersesat.
Oke, menarik. Ada
Lebih baik ahli maksiat yang khawatir dengan kemaksiatannya daripada
Yeah, then I tell them, in the end, heaven will be occupied by immoral experts who want to repent, not people who are pretentious but ultimately lost. Better is an immoralist who worries about his immorality than a person who has a lot of practices but is proud of his practices. Thank you. Okay guys, maybe that's
daripada
all.
orang yang banyak
Then
amalan tapi sombong
thank you.
dengan
See
amalan.
you for the